Tonight at 10, I'm Tim McGonigal.
And I'm Shannon Newth. Tonight, 68 Montanans have now tested positive for coronavirus. The latest counts including 2 new cases in Cascade County. One man in his 30s, another man in his 50s. That brings Cascade County's total to 5 confirmed cases. Hill County also reporting 1 case today, a man in his 60s. Lewis and Clark County reported another case tonight, bringing the total there to 4. The most recent numbers from the state show Gallatin County still has the most with 24. So far, more than 2,100 tests have been completed. Montana's 2 U.S. senators said today they're voting for the $2 trillion economic rescue package that's now before Congress.
They say the massive bill is desperately needed to help Montana businesses, citizens, governments, and healthcare providers weather the coronavirus storm. Senator Jon Tester, a Democrat, said he likes the fact that the bill now has increased aid for hospitals, state and local governments, and Indian tribes. He said he's disappointed it still has what he calls a $500 billion slush fund to help selected businesses, but that it contains more controls on how that money is spent. Tester also said his office will be working hard to help Montanans take advantage of the aid in the bill. Senator Daines, a Republican, said the bill is a bold bipartisan stroke to address public health and economic crisis. He pointed to its increase in unemployment benefits as 15,000 Montanans have filed for benefits in the past 8 days. Daines also emphasized the bill's funding to help accelerate development of drugs or a vaccine to battle the virus.
The economic crisis and the panic that we see going on right now is not going to end until the pandemic ends, until we feel safe from this horrible virus and disease. The way we get immunity is through these amazing vaccines and these drugs. We're moving as fast as we can. It's an all-government approach working with industry, and we get these to market as quickly as possible.
Our goal right now as an office is to make sure that we're a conduit to make sure that we can direct people in the right direction to get the dollars that they desperately need. And if in fact we can make sure that those businesses can stick around, and that's what this bill is about for 4 months, it's absolutely going to help to hold those folks in a positive situation from a monetary standpoint to be able to come out of this alive.
Senator Daines said he expects the bill to be enacted in the next couple of days.
Montana Attorney General Tim Fox and his colleagues are warning large online retailers to make sure none of their resellers are price gouging by overpricing critical items during the coronavirus shutdowns.
They're calling for Amazon, Walmart, and others to put a stop to practices where items like bottles of hand sanitizer have been going for hundreds of dollars. At the same time, as MTN's Dennis Bragg reports, the AGs are also concerned about practices that could take advantage of rural producers.
Many of us have experienced that rush for food, which emptied many store shelves over the past couple of weeks. But it turns out there's some evidence of a problem on the ranches and farms, too. Fox, who is president of the National Association of Attorneys General, is also worried about beef and other products.
We're very concerned about the possibility and potential, and we may have even seen some of this, where the meat packers, who there's just a number of them, they're large companies, may have been reducing the price paid to cattle producers in places like Montana, while slightly raising prices that they're selling to the retailers and the supermarkets.
Monday, U.S. Attorney General William Barr warned the Justice Department is cracking down on companies that may be hoarding and overcharging for critical medical supplies. And during a call Tuesday, Fox says he urged Barr to keep rural producers in mind as well.
And we'll continue to work with his office to make sure that people don't take advantage of this crisis by taking advantage of Montanans or any American.
Fox says the attorneys general want to make sure that the current crisis doesn't erode the progress that's already been made on consumer protection, whether it's in the field or online.
We've had a lot of success over the years, particularly in the area of consumer protection, in working together across state lines and also with the federal government.
In the Bitterroot Valley, Dennis Bragg, MTN News.
And it's probably no surprise that with the rise of coronavirus cases, we've also seen an increase in products that claim to offer protection. The New York Times investigated nearly 500 websites that launched using the retail service Shopify in the last 2 months. They found products like a $60 coronavirus air purifier necklace and a $300 pill that promises protection for 30 days. Shopify is working to shut down sites with fraudulent products. A spokesperson says they will suspend accounts that can't back up any medical claims.
The Great Falls Public School Board of Trustees met earlier today to discuss their COVID-19 plan of action in regards to the continuation of school closures. The plan of action went into detail on structure for online and virtual learning, school meal programs, student mental and emotional well-being, crisis planning in the case of a staff or student death, and adult education programs with Great Falls College MSU. The plan was approved to send to the governor immediately after they held an emergency trustee meeting where they voted to lay off full-time substitute teachers that were not currently covering a leave of absence. The vote was approved unanimous for the layoffs that will be affecting only 4 teachers.
Great Falls College MSU is in the testing phase to create masks on 3D printers. They're using the same file or blueprint the Billings Clinic posted online for these masks. It's a slow process, but the more who join in to help make them, the faster they'll be able to help fill the critical shortage.
And especially for us with such a strong medical programs, we have nurses and surgical technicians and respiratory therapists who have come through our programs.
It takes up to 6 hours to make one mask, but they are reusable. They can be disinfected after each patient, and the filter is traded out every few hours. If you happen to have a 3D printer and want to join in the effort, you can check out our website for details.
Well, a little soup for the soul can hit the spot during trying times.
Here's some donations of food for you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
My daughter for Mom.
Now, a Great Falls business is finding a way to send love to senior citizens stuck inside over coronavirus concerns. Porky D's Soup to Go posted on their Facebook page earlier this month asking family members of someone 60 or older to sign them up for a free meal. The mother-daughter duo has been delivering soup and fixings to elderly residents each day of the week since the post, and they're booked through the end of April, but we'll have more soup for seniors come May.
We've been getting feedback back on Facebook. The people who we've nominated them have contacted my mom and said how much the old people enjoy it, so it's really cool.
And they say the older residents make up a large portion of Porky D's customer base, so the soup raffle is one way to show appreciation while keeping everyone safe. We have business information and hours on our website.
Well, we're on day 3 of scattered showers moving through the state, and we're not quite done with the rain and snow yet.
So, Brandon, you're still tracking a few showers.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of flurry activity right now, right around the Great Falls area, and we can barely make that out on the U.S. Bank iCam. You can see maybe a little bit of haze, it looks like, off in the distance. You can see those lights from, I believe that's the hospital in the background, look a little bit amplified. That's that very light snow that's moving through, and you can see that a little bit better on the Doppler network, though. It's very, very light. We're going to see little to absolutely no accumulation from this, and it's going to be exiting away from Great Falls fairly soon. It's moving over 87 between Great Falls and Lewistown right now. So Lewistown, if you haven't seen any flakes yet, you're likely going to see a couple in the coming hours. But looking behind that, sure, a little bit of moisture left over in western Montana, but in general, I think we're actually going to see a little bit of clearing through the night tonight. So mostly cloudy skies, but clearing out as these showers exit. 22-hour overnight low, and that clearing trend is going to last all the way into the day tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow's looking like a pretty nice day. 48 degrees, the high temperature, lots of sunshine, a little bit on the breezy side, and it's actually not just tomorrow. The nice weather is going to be lasting well beyond Thursday. I'll tell you how long later in the show.
Thanks, Brandon. Coming up next on your 10 o'clock news, how the agricultural community is helping others in their community and around the state.
Your Montana Ag Network report is next.
Furniture powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on KRTV, Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. Agriculture has been labeled a critical industry in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak, allowing businesses to continue operating as usual amid current and potential restrictions created to stop the spread of the virus.
And as the Montana Ag Network's Russell Nemitz shares, John Deere dealers across the state are responding to the Trump administration's request to donate protective masks in support of healthcare facilities.
Well, farmers and ranchers and agribusiness professionals continue to play a very important role during this ongoing COVID-19 national emergency. The latest example, Montana's John Deere dealers partnering to become collection points for protective masks to be donated to the medical community.
Frontline Ag, RDO, and C&B, we have all the dealers across, Deere dealers across the state of Montana. We've just came to the not to the rescue by that word, but came to try to help support the medical industry as we have drop-off locations for the N95 and all other masks. Their Montana State Hospital Association is now accepting any masks that can be used in the medical industries.
He says it's a great opportunity to help because those in Montana's ag and construction industries have these protective masks that are in short supply.
In the ag side of it, of course, we've got a lot of our ag people that are in dusty conditions. They've got these masks to help protect their lungs in wheat, when they're putting wheat in and out of bins and grain in and out of bins. A lot of our farmers do a lot of their own painting on some of their own equipment. Certainly in the construction industry, there's a lot of needs in dusty conditions where these contractors will have these masks. So, and it's not just the agricultural and construction folks. I mean, the people that are downtown doing anything, maybe folks that are in the drywall industries. If you got extra masks, this is where we've got an opportunity to really help our medical industry.
And he says it's one of those times when we all need to ask, what can we do to support the greater cause?
I mean, that's what agriculture is all about. We're about helping neighbors and about keeping the support in the industry going. So help, reaching out into the communities in the medical field too. Hopefully, we can make a difference. So that's all we're after.
Now, individuals or companies that are able to donate are asked to put the protective masks inside a plastic bag and drop them off at your local John Deere dealer. In Billings, Russell Nemitz, MTN News.
Well, it looks like Montana's June 2nd primary election will be going to an all-mail ballot, at least in some counties. Governor Steve Bullock today issued a directive that allows Montana County election officials to decide if they want an all-mail election for the primary in their county. He said local officials know best what will protect people's health in the midst of the coronavirus outbreak and preserve people's right to vote. His order allows counties to expand mail balloting and early voting. Under current Montana law, counties would have to keep all polling places open on Election Day. But now, counties could decide to have only mail ballots. Several statewide candidates in the 2020 elections, Democratic and Republican, had been calling for the change to protect public health. Even if your county goes to all-mail ballots, you can still drop off your ballot in person at the election office.
Well, sunshine and warmer temperatures are heading our way, not only tomorrow, but all the way into next week. We'll have the forecast after the break.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with meteorologist Brandon Michaels.
Well, we're going to start out with kind of a neat picture for the photo of the day here from Rod. Thanks for sending that in. They've got just a huge flock of birds. According to Rod, this was them over Priest Lake, which was the only lake in the area that wasn't completely frozen over. So the birds were enjoying some time outside. And with the nicer weather in the forecast, you should be able to enjoy a little bit of time outside as well. Maybe not right now. It's chilly, of course, being late at night. And we're still tracking a little bit of shower activity, too. Mainly now shifting over to the east of Great Falls. Kind of you're picking up some heavier signals on the Doppler network right over the Highwood Mountains at the time. In general, though, we are going to be clearing out through the night tonight, and that clearing trend is not just for us, it's for a good portion of the United States. You can see, we showed you this a couple times earlier in the day, this big upper level trough. You can trace out these black lines that kind of dip down into California and then back up toward us. That's that big trough, and it's bringing the cooler temperatures, it's bringing the cloud cover, all the showers for not only us, but the western half of the country. But that is going to be departing, swinging off to the east as we head through the forecast here, and that means nicer weather for us. And we'll start to see that already tomorrow. Now, through the night tonight, still some lingering showers here and there. Not a lot, probably no accumulating snow whatsoever. Into tomorrow morning, the western half of the area still picking up on a good amount of, the eastern half of the area. I got my direction mixed up. A good amount of cloud cover there, but clearing to the western half, and then everybody clears out as we head into the afternoon hours. So lots of sunshine by about noon, and we're going to keep that sunshine all through the afternoon hours. So nice day as far as that's concerned. The temperatures are going to be a little bit nicer too. Let's take a look at our overnight lows. Of course, still chilly for this time of year. 23 for Havre and Harlem, 22 in Chester, down to 18 in Cutbank, 22 for Wolf Point. point, and 22 degrees for the overnight low in Malta as well. The temperatures through the day tomorrow, though, are really going to be jumping up. We showed you we have all that sunshine, and that does really help our temperatures out, especially this time of year when we get a little bit more daylight now that we're into spring. So still chilling into tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., 25 degrees, but about 20 degrees warmer by the time we get to 4 p.m. And I think we'll even climb a little bit as we head into the later afternoon hours. So it's going to be a nice mild day for our Thursday here. So I'm going 48 degrees for the high temperature tomorrow, 49 for Fort Benton, 44 in Chester, 42 in Cutbank, 49 in Malta and Glasgow, and 50 degrees, the high temperature in Jordan. So I think everybody should at least make it into the 40s, with a couple of our warmer spots actually making it all the way up into the 50s. Now, with the warmer temperatures, we do have to bring one thing back into play, and that's some slightly stronger winds. You can see calm winds off to the east tomorrow morning. In fact, most of us are going to be relatively calm into tomorrow morning, maybe with the exception of the Rocky Mountain front. You get west of Choteau and Cutbank, places like Browning, St. Mary, Hart Butte. You guys might be a little bit breezier, but we see those winds kind of expand off to the east as we head through the day. So even Great Falls, looking at wind gusts as high as about 30 miles per hour by tomorrow afternoon. So we are getting a little bit breezier here in the forecast, but overall it's definitely an improvement in our conditions. We'll go through the 7-day now. Again, sunshine, a little tiny bit breezier tomorrow, 48 degrees, that's comfortable. Still very nice on Friday, 50, still a good amount of sunshine. Still keeping that sunshine as late as about Saturday, 54 degrees the high temperature on Saturday. That looks like a beautiful day. 58, mostly cloudy on Sunday, and still staying fairly mild as we head into Monday. Might even get a couple more peaks of sunshine that day. Things do start to change a little bit as we head toward the end of the forecast. We've got a couple models that bring in our next weather system, will give us a slight chance for some showers on Tuesday and drop our temperatures a little bit Tuesday into Wednesday. Guys?
Thanks, Brandon. And the news continues. It isn't only spring sports taking a hit from the coronavirus.
How football teams are compensating for spring drills next.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on KRTV, Montana's news leader.
Hey folks, you got me donating blood. Now there is a nationwide shortage across the country. Over 7,000 drives have been canceled due to this COVID-19 pandemic, and it's awfully hard to practice social distancing when someone's sticking you with a needle. But the American Red Cross has taken every precaution to make sure you can give blood in a safe and sterile environment.
So before a donor even comes in, we're taking their temperature. We're also using sterile gloves. We have hand sanitizer. Before you go back in the history, we're wiping down the stations before and after donors.
Now, there's still plenty of drives scheduled for the rest of the year. You can go to redcrossblood.org, put in your zip code, and find the nearest drive. Let's talk a little bit of sports. Now, this pandemic has changed the way everyone in sports does things, including coaches across the country. Isaiah Dunk caught up with MSU Northern football coach Andrew Rowland to see how he's handling some of these changes.
There's a new football stadium going up at MSU Northern, but the campus is an otherwise quiet place as the coronavirus pandemic has forced most educators into remote, online learning. For Lights football head coach Andrew Rowland, one challenge is keeping his team engaged in the program from afar. Luckily, handling adversity is something Rowland has been instilling in his guys since he got there. So far, the team is handling it well.
I mean, they're resilient. They're kids, but they're also resilient, and they want to win, and they want to be successful, and we're doing everything we can to assist them in doing that just remotely. And again, our kids have, over the past 2 years, we've built a culture of being able to respond to situations like this in adverse times, and that's where we are as a program. We're able to meet with them and see them in person via FaceTime or putting film on Huddle with meetings. There's a lot of different ways to communicate with our guys, still talk football and get back to normal life, just not together in a meeting setting.
While staying engaged with the team is important, Rowland says his staff is working just as hard to make sure his players are finishing the school year, too.
We're having a big focus on academics and how we're going to go forth, helping them be successful academically, remotely, and I think that's interesting. We're kind of feeling it out, and as everybody knows, this is an hour-by-hour situation, and we're trying to do the best we can and just, as I always say, hang loose and adjust.
But with all this working from home, family life is an adjustment as well.
I spent a lot of time with my kids, which is pretty fun. I've watched Frozen 2 about 8 times this week, so times are fine. We're fine. We're going to move on. We're going to get through this as a community.
And when normalcy finally returns, things are going to look a lot different for Lights football. In Havre, Isaiah Dunk, MTN News.
Of course, you can find that full story at montanasports.com. For now, Tom Wiley, MTN News. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, all over the world, people are trying to get back home during the coronavirus pandemic.
And that includes a group of 7 Montanans who are stranded at an airport in Dubai. MTN's Cody Boyer has their story.
For Eli Herman and his 6 friends, it was a trip to the Philippines and beyond before the coronavirus pandemic hit the United States. So for him, he never imagined what would happen just trying to get home.
Employees have locked themselves in the room back there, and it's just us sitting out here.
When I caught up with Elias Herman and his group of friends, they were hunkered down at the Dubai International Airport.
We were actually on an island called Sikior. A fella walked by and told us that the island had been closing down. Sure enough, the last ferry out was at 5 p.m.
That was the beginning.
After numerous flights that had been canceled, we ended up staying an extra 7 days.
Then a stroke of luck at a cost.
We had to spend upwards of $3,000 on a new flight.
It was short-lived. Herman says only minutes after they arrived, Dubai airport staff told them to follow them and give them their passports.
It's kind of nerve-wracking. We felt like without our passports, there's no real claim to us being U.S. citizens, and that's something that we couldn't lose.
Through his phone, Herman showed me a scene out of a nightmare.
People leaning up against the walls, taking out luggage that they have to make bedding.
Out of nearly 300 people stranded, Herman says about 10 of them are Americans, including children. Yet, he says it's no one's fault.
I don't blame them. It's not surprising in the sense that the entire time we've been trying to book a flight out, things have been flip-flopping within the hour.
Herman holds onto his group of friends and to hope that he says fits the new norm.
I hope no one is at the airport waiting for us. I hope that we get home to nobody. I hope that everyone's just at home, being safe.
And another hope, that someone back home can help.
It has to be a collective effort that we stop the spread of this disease.
In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
And we're back right after this with a final look at your forecast.
We're going to take another look at what is going to be a pretty nice next couple of days here in the forecast. 48 degrees the high temperature tomorrow, all the way up to 50 degrees by the time we get to Friday, 54 on Saturday. And for all 3 of those days, we're looking at lots of sunshine.
Well, if you ordered Girl Scout cookies this year, your cravings are just going to have to wait a little bit longer. Girl Scouts in Montana have suspended their delivery.
According to a press release sent to MTN News, booth sales and cookie delivery will be suspended until further notice. Once it's deemed safe to be out delivering, the Girl Scouts will set up booth sites around town and begin delivering all pre-ordered cookie boxes.
All right. Just have
For
to
me,
wait
that's probably
a
a good
little
thing because I'd be eating.
Save our diets.
Everybody already quarantined, eating snacks and things like that. Yeah. We do want to tell you that Glacier County is reporting its first confirmed case tonight from Northern Rockies Medical Center. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the latest on our website and join the Montana This Morning crew starting at 5 a.m.
Good night.